Hello.
Hello. Oh, this is really clipping. How about now? It's probably a little bit better.
Hello. Oh, this is really clipping. How about now? Probably a little bit better.
Can turn down even further, I think. Okay, dokie. Give me a shout in the chat. I know you're gonna be like looking at an endless loop right now, which is pretty cool. But like, give me a shout if um you can hear me fine. As soon as I get a response from someone, I'll just start. Um, because this will be saved. I can like save it later. So put my mic up a bit. All right, can do, can do, can do. Is a wee bit quiet. This should be a bit better now. Okay, awesome, awesome. Right, I'm just gonna start this just because, like I say, this could be saved and I can like upload it as a VOD. I'm gonna get off this endless loop. If you've got any questions, just I'll keep an eye in the chat, as you'll see. Um, there could be a better way to do this, but I'm not great with OBS, so it is what it is. So we have the season 2 qualifiers coming up, and we currently have 16 teams that are going to be entering season 2. The way that it's kind of worked out with the numbers, some teams leaving, some teams disbanding, some teams not wanting to continue with us. We've ended up with 18 total teams. So we've decided to make it a 8-man a top league, Masters, along with a 10-man Ventures League. So what this means is that with V3 and Waifu Warriors battling out for top 2, those two will be staying in the top flight, and we will have 6 available spots in the top flight, with everyone else obviously booking themselves a spot in Venturous. So with with this system in place, with there being a prize pool for both divisions, if you like, and ways for there to be relegations up and down, which we'll get into a little bit later. We hope that obviously everyone will be sorted into their appropriate division, the appropriate league based on their skill shown in the qualifiers. So how exactly are we going to sort you guys into qualifiers? Well, let me try and explain this a little bit. So I'm going to be using Tournament here, and this would be our hub for actually sorting you guys into groups and getting the matches started. So I'll explain the format just now, and then I'll get into the actual practicalities. So for a start, we have 16 teams, which will be placed in here today. Each team will be part of a group of 4. 16 goes into 4 quite nicely. And so to make this the most fair, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a round robin within the groups. So you'll be, let's say, Moon, we've got you in the chat, let's say you and your team are in group 1, you'll have 3 other teams that you will play against in a round robin. So at the end of it, every team will have a score from their 3 matches, and they will be sorted by seed. It will go, obviously, games 1, you get 3 points for a win, nothing for a loss. These will not be matches that end in a draw, since they're best of 1 either. So there will be a winner at the end of each round, at the end of each map, even if it needs to go to infinite OT. We want to make it quite clear-cut on that. Of course, there will be other head-to-heads. So if there are 2 people with the same amount of points, then we'll do it on total rounds 1, or on your round difference rather. Who has that? So let's say a team has +5 maps and second place has the same amount of points with +2 maps, then the team with +5 maps will be at the top of their table. There will be further tie breaks, but we'll get into the nitty gritty if those eventualities happen, and they're all sorted out on Tournament itself. Holy crap, there is a lot of comments. Try and keep the chat a little bit clean, just so I can kind of catch up, because every time I switch this page I go into an endless loop. So it's not very fun to look at. However, the way that you guys the way that this works, so the first seed of each group will book themselves into the Masters division. Okay, so at the end of the group stage there will be 4 teams out of the 6 possible spots that will fill up 6 out of the 8 Masters positions, which leaves 12 teams. These 12 teams will go into... Okay, better save it first up. These 12 teams will go into a double elimination bracket. And the way the seeding will work is the 3rd place team of each bracket will be here. Ignore the numbers for now. They're all assigned to teams, and obviously the teams haven't played yet, so these won't make sense, but just imagine these are all 3rd place. And then here we'll have all the 4th place teams. We'll have the 2nd place teams here, and we'll have the 3rd place teams playing the 4th place team. So you'll have Group A 3rd playing against Group D 4th, etc., etc. And there'll be a double elimination bracket as well. So that means that there is opportunity for teams to lose twice. For teams to take a loss rather and still progress. At the end of the winners bracket, you will have your team that has got through it all and will go through, and then there'll also be someone who's coming in from the losers bracket as well. That will create your 6 teams that are in the top, and the idea here is that all of these teams involved in the double elimination bracket will not go against the quote-unquote best teams, since they will have already gone through. Meanwhile, the teams that kind of came second in those pools will have a slight advantage over the 3rd and 4th place, but everyone still gets a second chance to get into that top flight. And in my eyes, that would be a way for you all to have an equal amount of chances, I guess, to get into the top flight. So, I then got any questions on that in particular. I'll do a quick fire just now before moving on. It doesn't look like it, so I know I'm a wee bit delayed, but I will try and catch up when possible. So we have Easy Elo Eternia, we have Delta Force 6, We have Veiled A joining us from Season 1 going into the qualifiers. We have Solaris. We have P4V. We have Anti-NKB. Ladyboys. Crown Gaming. Nexus. Vindication. XCOM. Vindication rejoined us from Season 1, by the way. Team Fear. God Given Talent. Grey. By Greco Esports. Greco Esports first team. And Unified Pulse. So all of these teams will today be sorted into their bracket. Now, because a lot of these teams are new, a lot of these teams haven't played against each other, there is no real way for us to seed you guys. So the way that we will be doing this is through a live random draw. And we'll be doing this in snake format. So I'll start off up here with Group 1. I'll randomly sort 1 into Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4, and then I'll do Group 4, Group 3, Group 2, Group 1, Group 1, so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm just going to go and try and do this as smoothly as possible. So in this wheel, we've got every single team. Every time I spin the wheel and it picks out a team, I'll insert that team into here in its appropriate place. I'll then remove the team from the wheel and carry on spinning it until we end up with no teams left. So, drum roll, I guess. So for the first team, we have Team Nexus. So, I've got all of them in here somewhere. There we go. Team Nexus will go in there. So, Group 2 will be next. We have Grey. This is incredibly cheesy, by the way, but I'm loving it. Okay, third group. Unified Pulse. And Group 4. Greco Esports. Okie dokie, so that's those in there just now. Is everyone following so far? Just having a quick look at the comments before we carry on. Again, this will be available as a VOD afterwards, so, and I will do a write-up of the format as well for anyone who's not understanding my very quick explanation. But anyway, let's carry on. So we're going to start from Group 4 again. So joining Greco Esports, we will have Veiled A joining us from Season 1. So they should be down here. Okay, Group 3 joining Unified Pulse. We have XCOM. There we go. Joining Grey in Group 2. Move that. I'm actually crapping myself in case I get this wrong. We have Ladyboys. Team may or may not choose a different name in the future. I'm still awaiting a logo from them, so I'm interested to see that. Or maybe not, on second thoughts. And we have Veiled A, which I apparently did not remove. It's a bit awkward. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, cool. I've still got the right amount of teams. Spin the wheel. Delta Force 6. We're joining. Okay, so that's 8 teams left, and we have our first 6. So again, we're going to go through the snake again. So from Group 1, joining Delta Force and Team Nexus, we will have, if we remove those, Easy Elo. There we go. So you are still in Group 1, as per my example. So, I don't know. Call me a visionary. Let's go. Last 7 teams. Anti-NKB. Join yourselves whenever I find them. Here we go. So I'll be in with Ladyboys and Grey. And then joining XCOM and Unified Pulse, we have Team Fear. Another team coming to us from Greco Esports. So we currently have all three Greco esports all in different groups, which is worked out very nicely. 5 teams left. P4V, so players for victory, I believe that stands for. They'll be going into there. So we're about to do our last round for like the final 4 teams. So once again, we're going to start from Group 4 and go all the way back to Group 1. So remove those. We have Vindication, Solaris, God-Given Talent, and Crown Gaming left. And it'll be Vindication going into Group 4. Joining XCOM, Unified Pulse, and Team Fear will be Crown Gaming. Down here. Anti-MKB Ladyboys Grey will be joined by one of these 2 teams, Solaris of God-Given Talent. And it will be God-Given Talent just on the cusp there. And just for validation, oops, didn't mean to see that. Oh, well, there we go. Solaris anyway. It was always going to be Solaris. And where are they? Oh, they're here. I'm blind. Okay, so there are our teams that we have here. Better not zoom in case it mucks up the OBS. So we've got Team Nexus, Delta Force 6, Easy Elo Eternia, and Solaris in Group 1. We have Grey, Ladyboys, Anti-MKB, God-Given Talent, or GGT, Group 2. Unified Pulse, XCOM, Team Fear, and Crown Gaming in Group 3. And in Group 4 we have Greco Esports, Veiled A, P4V, and Vindication. So once again, to kind of go over the format once again, these guys, starting on Friday evening, will be playing a round-robin tournament between themselves to fight for the top spot of the group. The winner of each group will go automatically through to the master spot, leaving 3 teams in each group, 12 teams altogether. These teams, I'm going to save this now. So these teams will go through to the qualifiers, and these will be seeded accordingly. So these first 4 seeds will be filled with 3rd place of each team. So like Group 1 Group 1 second place, Group 2 second place, so on and so on. And then 3rd and 4th place will be seeded over here, and they will fill up these spots here. So, and they will go into a double elimination bracket to find out who will take the last 2 spots of Masters, with the rest of them all still being welcomed into Collective in their Venturous spot instead. Can we redo the grips? Yeah, some of these groups are pretty nasty. Now, one thing I will say is that there isn't a perfect system to this. It certainly makes it a lot harder without being able to seed you guys directly by talent. So in line with us having the random draw done live like this, I wanted to make sure that the format had a little bit of wiggle room to give some teams chances if your group stage does not go the way it is, and then it gives you a second chance to kind of go into the double elimination bracket while also rewarding the teams that did well in the group stage. So yes, if anyone is kind of misunderstanding the format, please let me know. Yupa, you're asking the V3 already in the top group. Yes, as the 2 Season 1 teams that will be staying in the top group will be V3 and Waifu Warriors. We were originally going to have it top 4 and have 10 spaces, but due to numbers and certain teams dropping out and certain incidents happening, we're just going to have the top 2 and keep it as a closer knit 8-team top division, with Adventurers having 10. And that will be how it will stay going into Season 2. Now, let's talk about... let's go back to group stage for a sec. So let's talk about the rules for the group stages. Now, after getting a bit of feedback, in UK, our exams, or rather, not my exams, thank God, but the exams of players around the UK and this themselves, and obviously the start of Season 2 as a result. I'm also being told that in certain other areas of Europe, there are exams still ongoing. Obviously, we understand that people have lives, come season 2, there will be a fairly strict schedule to keep to in terms of being, needing to be able to play at least one match a week, depending on what part of the season it is. But in order to be flexible and allow all of our teams to have an equal opportunity, the rule I'm going to say is that the group stages will start at 7 p.m. this Friday, and all group stage matches must be completed by Sunday. So you will have one evening and 2 full days to play 3 matches against your teams with your rosters, which I will bring up here. And then we will go into the double elimination bracket, minus the 4 teams that have gone through, the following weekend or at earliest convenience. And what I'm planning to do is run it over 2 weekends. So we'll have Friday to Sunday for those group stages, have a wee bit of a break, and then go Friday to Sunday on the next week. As I'm assuming that anyone who has exams will be available on the weekends themselves. Doing this over 2 weeks should allow each team to have equal opportunity. After all, at the end of the day, if you've signed up, I'm assuming that you guys will be available. I have tried to give as much notice as possible, regardless of all of the delays. So yes, good luck to everyone, and hopefully that will be the case. Now, talking more about the actual map rules themselves, so our map pool will be in line with the current ESL rules. So this means that Cafe will be in, and Oregon will be out. We did have some discussion on whether this was going to change or not, and the majority decided that they would like to stay with the current ESL rules and keep Cafe in. So please be aware of that. All games will be best of 1. They will follow a map banning process, of course, where each team will ban 3 maps, leaving 1 decider map. These maps will be decided between yourselves, and if you need be happy to screenshot a conversation showing this if there are any disputes. In regards to submitting your results per match, I am required to receive a screenshot. There will be a results, in fact there is a results channel. I can't show it in this because I'm on streamer mode, but there is a channel for results submissions in season 2 on the Discord. So that'll be where your captain relays all of your results back, and myself and the admins can go onto tournament itself and start putting in the results, which will obviously determine how the tournament goes from then on. So if there are any appeals, if there are any incidents, also hit up an admin through the use of the incidents or the appeals channel. Once again, I'm going to make it very clear to every team here that one of Collector's values as a controller only console league is that we do not permit the use of adapters. So the adapters for mouse and keyboard, Zims, I honestly don't have experience with them, so I do not know the full extent of them. But anything that is not a controller will not be allowed. SCUF controllers are allowed. Controllers with paddles are definitely allowed, but obviously modded controllers are not. Same with keyboards. So I'm going to say that on stream for the record. They will not be allowed. If anyone has any incidents, they can bring them up with evidence and it will be taken seriously. On top of this, we also recognize that within Ranked, there has been a big issue when it comes to DDoSing. As a result, any rounds that are deemed as DDoSed or unstable with the server will be deemed as invalid. Those rounds will not count, and there will be a rehost starting at those rounds. Again, for more details, if that actually happens, which I hope it does not, for whatever reason, let me know at the time. We'll be on hand to help. Does anyone have any questions as of right now? Okay, so casting group stage games. So what we plan to do is we have Harvey here in the chat who has been working overtime to get some of our new stream updates on the go. He plans to have a stream running throughout Friday and through the weekend when he is available, and to be able to hop in and out of games. So he will be in communication with the other admins and the captains to figure out the can I be caster? Just to kind of figure out when certain games line up, and we will aim to hop in and out of games so we can try and have the stream going. And engage people and try and keep other teams updated as well. But as of right now, just because of the amount of teams and the amount of matches, and also bear in mind that we have the season 1 final on the same weekend as the group stages, the casting will not be a high priority. But if you are interested in casting, please bring up with myself or Harvey, because we can certainly make a case to consider you for season 2. Well, people have to do the hand cam. Okay, right. So Youp is asking about hand cam in terms of the appeals of mouse and keyboard. Obviously, what I'm imagining is that if someone does have an accusation, I will be sent a clip and whatnot. If it is deemed to be worthy of suspicion, then I will be contacting the teams, which is the benefit of doing this over multiple days. And I will be asking if I'll be confronting them with the evidence, and we'll go through the process from there. So Yupa has already gone through that process himself. He knows what it's like. He knows that it's something that won't be taken lightly, and it definitely will be something that will be dealt with. If you do have any issues, please filter them through your captain. I do not want to have the whole server coming at me with every single player. Try and filter them through your captain. Get your captain to message me or message the captain's chat openly. We're quite transparent in terms of our process, so there should be no worries about that. Has anyone got any other questions just now? Oh, also in line with VSL, Nook and Warden will also be banned. Every other operator is open. They are not in quarantine, so that includes Lion, and that obviously includes Gridlock and Mozzie as well. So feel free to use those whenever. And just as a reminder, Cafe will be in, Oregon will not. So it will still be a 7-map pool, in line with current ESL and obviously Pro League as well. I honestly think that is us here. Again, 7 p.m. will be the opening time for this tournament start. It will allow people who have exams on Friday, or lives, basically, to start. You are all aware now of your teams, so feel free to message each other. If you need help with this, hit us up in the captain's chat and we can put you in contact with the necessary captains. We will also be gradually inviting all of you to the server. Obviously, I've touched base with all of your captains. I'll be able to send you out an invite, and with this invite, you will have enough invites for your team that I have on your roster. We can get them in, we can get some perms, we can get you welcomed in, integrated. We hope that you're able to kind of chill out around in the server. We've got a few new things kind of going on, including some tens and whatnot. Interact with each other, mingle with each other, and let's try and get some action going on the server as well, because there has been a little bit dead recently, with a lot of teams just kind of leaving and disbanding and whatnot. So we definitely need to fill it back up. Okie dokie. Okay, I honestly think that is me for now. Again, I will save this as a VOD. I'll do a little bit of a write-up, and I'll be posting this in the captain chat for everyone to see. Thank you very much, and I will see you all later.